I'd had days of ferries and pretty atrocious weather heading to Sweden to start the Trans-Euro Trail. But once I was there, the weather for the most part had been incredible. The sun had shone and I'd loved both the riding and the scenery. I'd even found some mud to play in yesterday. After the muddy fun, I started searching for a wild camping site, but the winged insect apocalypse made the area so miserable, I ended up searching into the evening as my sole remaining camera battery died a slow and valiant death. So did I find a camping spot, or am I a desiccated husk surrounded by very fat mosquitoes? Good morning, lovely people. Well, I'm sorry all my batteries died yesterday, but as you can see, I made it to a great place to camp. It's a bit of a big commercial campsite, and it's an absolute winner. Pizza and beer last night. So today's plan, the weather is looking a bit ropey in the afternoon.
Okay, this is getting so bad. I got lightning and thunder all around it.
And I've made a bit of a late start because I had a lovely lie-in. Tonight, England are playing in the semi-finals of the Euros, and I don't normally watch football. I don't know why. I've just never got into it, but I really want to watch this game. Steph's watching it at home, so we're going to try and watch it together. So I'm going to pack up the tent, jump back on the TET, and head north, and then at some point try and get a hoity-toity hotel. Oh yeah. So that's it. That's the rough plan. See you soon. Just packing up the tent. Somebody's made themselves at home on my baggage during the night.
That's us back on the TET. And this is a little bit embarrassing. Can you make that out? 11:15. That was not an early start. If Steph was here, I'd be in the doghouse. There's a lot of these moose signs or elk signs. Apologies for not knowing which one's which. They're all over the place, on barn doors and things. I presume it just means there's lots of elk around here. Oh, I'd love to see one. Although apparently they're mainly out at dawn and dusk. Going on my current form, let's be honest, I'm not likely to see them at dawn.
Last night it got pretty late searching for a wild camp spot away from the winged beasts, and the campsite I was in was great, but I couldn't help wondering if I'd pushed a little further, would I have found a better wild camping spot.
But I'm just gonna go and have a little look. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, because I'll kick myself if it's amazing. Okay. I think it's been blocked off. Good job I didn't come here. Weirdly, that's made me feel a bit happier. If I'd come here and it was the most amazing spot, I'd have been gutted. this is why I never managed to make the distance I'm intending. I am way too easily distracted.
As I left that spot, I was reflecting. There isn't actually that much tarmac at all on the Swedish TET, but the tarmac there is, even that's fun.
Today it's just started off again with like chocolate box villages, just impossibly pretty settings and beautifully kept homes. Yet another thing I've got a fascination with: robot lawnmowers. Strange but true. Ah, another robot mower. Oh dear, this one appears to be dead. It is an ex-robot mower. Or maybe just resting.
I've always been intrigued to know if they actually work or not. If anybody's got one, do let me know in the comments if they're any good.
Ah. What is this? What did we talk about? Distraction?
So the sign was explaining that in the area that I was riding through were forts and cannon emplacements that had been blasted out of the sheer rock between 1889 and 1912, and they'd just finished in time for the start of the First World War, and there was a plan to move the royal family and government into these forts, although in the end they weren't used.
Well, I can't spend too long. See if I can find part of that complex. Sounds incredible. So there's some tracks leading up to some high ground. So I guess that might be it. That's, I guess, where you want to build a fort or put guns. Anyway, we'll have a look up there. If not, I'll have to set sail again. Oh well. I guess another thing to put on really high ground would be a telecoms mast. Right. Well, that wasn't ideal. We'll go to the next sort of high point that I saw with a track leading to it. And you never know. I have to say that I'm less optimistic than I was a moment ago. But we'll go and have a look, and after that we'll go and re-find the trails. Hello. This is looking a bit more likely. Oh yeah, how cool. First one radio tower, second one bingo.
Well, I'd planned on flying the drone to get a look inside the fort because it's all locked up, so we can't go in. But I'm not sure if you can see that. The drone won't fly. It's in a restricted zone. That's a shame. It's probably for the best. I'd have spent ages here flying the drone around. But I'm glad we found it. They're obviously not well-known spots because it was so peaceful up there. Perfect place to enjoy a snack I brought with me today.
Well, I'm glad we found it. Seeing as we were passing anyway, it was nice to come and have a look. Right, I'd better see if I can find the TET again. And that weather forecast we looked at this morning, I was starting to think it might have been wrong.
Why? Why do I say stupid things like that all the time?
I mean, wow, even for me this is pretty useless. I am literally 2 minutes away from the fort, having said, don't get distracted, I want to make tracks before the weather gets in. But I saw this, there's a little star on the trail, and then I saw another one, well, not on the trail, off the and I saw another one there, looks like a viewpoint. I just can't help myself. Just got to go and have a look what's up here. Oh, there's people up here. That's disappointing. It's a viewpoint of the lake. Well, we're here now. Might as well go and have a quick look.
I don't know if it goes out. I don't know if it comes out on this camera, but I have got the world's squeakiest boots. It's really embarrassing if I'm in a crowded place. Okay, this view looks incredible. What an amazing viewpoint. I'm so glad we stopped.
Right, I'm really glad we went and saw that. I think that's probably the first time I've seen just how big that lake is. I've sort of caught lots of glimpses from the shore, but I don't think I've ever had an overview. Yeah, that's huge and stunning and surprisingly populated, actually. Right, come on, Simon. Let's make just a tiny bit of progress now. So we said no more distractions, but we are half an hour down the road, and come on, there's a coffee and ice cream stand. What's a man supposed to do? I mean, look at it. It was shouting out to me.
This is actually a really lovely coffee. And I'm not making as bad a progress as I thought. I planned a short day anyway because of the weather. However, I've had a bit of news which is a bit of a pain. But I'm going to have to cut my time short up here in Sweden and hopefully Norway as well. I've got to get back. Family issues, nothing serious, nobody's hurt. I just thought I'd better explain that, as this series will be a bit shorter than anticipated, certainly shorter than I'd anticipated. So I reckon I've probably got, I don't know, 3-4 hours left, and it's 1:30, and the weather's actually holding really well. Long may that continue. If the weather breaks and the storms come through, I'll leg it off the tracks and head straight to where I'm staying tonight. A hoity-toity hotel to watch the football. Happy days. But for the moment, today has been brilliant. I'm having a great time. The cafe was next to a cute canal with a lifting bridge, and obviously I managed to get distracted watching the boats come through. But I noticed that dark clouds were starting to gather, so decided it was probably best not to hang around for too long and got back on the trails.
So I've met a couple of people now who are riding the Swedish Trans-Euro Trail, and a couple have said, oh, it's a bit boring. I've just sort of been mulling that over in my head. if you like gnarly, tricky enduro type trails, this is definitely not the one for you. If you like forests, lakes and being away from people, I would say this might be the one for you. And if you ride a big adventure bike and you haven't done that much off-road, oh, this is heaven. With the odd tiny little section, there's, just I wouldn't like to take a big bike through because it's a bit swampy, but they're very, very, very few and far between. This is adventure bike heaven. Oh, is that somebody camping over there? Oh, yeah, what a spot. Oh man, I need to get better at picking my spots. Wow. I haven't seen many wildflowers up here. I guess that's no surprise, but lupins and daisies seem to grow here. Which has got me thinking, if they survive here, they might even survive in our garden. Because we killed most things.
At least camping spots and wildflowers are distractions that actually keep me riding, so at last I was starting to make a bit of progress.
We're starting to make pretty good time now. I'll stop in a minute and check how far I am away from the hoity-toity hotel, but I think I've managed to rein in the distractions for a good few hours now, so we must be making decent progress. Yeah, just put the hotel details up in the split screen on Google Maps. And yeah, making progress. There's 58 minutes. Certainly early enough in time for the football. Here it comes. I've done pretty well through most of the day, but I think my luck has run out. Yeah, it's starting. Right, time to throw on some waterproofs.
Holy shit, did you hear that? Oh man, there are some big storms around. If you didn't hear it, that was a big roll of thunder and there was a flash of lightning a few seconds ago. Oh well, we did well for most of the day. That sounds bad. Oh man.
Oh, I was only going to put my jacket on and I'm just about ready to go, and then I think it's time for the waterproof pants as well.
As it gets darker, the camera sort of compensates and tries to keep the same level of light intensity, but it was really turning dark and the sky was turning black, so it was definitely a good choice to put all waterproofs on.
Having gone through the palaver of putting all that stuff on, it normally means the rain stops. And I always think, oh, why did I bother putting all that stuff on? But judging by the thunder and lightning all around me, I'm thinking that's not the case. I'm not going to be this lucky. I'm not going to be that lucky this time. And in fact, it's, again, I don't know how much it shows on the camera, but it's getting heavier. So I think I'm going to have to pull out the cables for audio and everything. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, this is getting so bad. I got lightning and thunder all around me, and a little deer has just run out in front of me, and the track's getting so greasy now. So I'm bagging out, and I'm gonna head straight to Hotel Fantastico, because the tablet isn't even working. The water is activating the screen, so it keeps zooming in and zooming out. Right, okay, so we're going to do a... don't know if you saw that lightning. More from a dry hotel. Okay, having decided to get off the trails, there's been another deer jumped out in front of me. I think because it's so dark, they think it's dusk. Anyway, this is what Google Maps has told me to do. There we go. And I'll show you what that is in the real world. That's not much use. Okay, I'll just keep going along this track. I'm sure it'll sort its life out soon.
That last half an hour was brutal. I can't think of rains like that. This storm has been massive. The main roads in this town are flooded. I couldn't show you because all the cameras were away. The rain eventually eased slightly and I popped one of the Honda under cover at the hotel entrance. Those of you that have followed Steph and I for a little while on our various travels know that we try very hard not to exaggerate anything, and if in fact most of the time we downplay things. But I have to say, in places, that rain was biblical. I can't remember the last time I rode in rain of that intensity. All of the local town roads where this hotel was were flooded, but I couldn't show that because I'd put all the cameras away by that stage. Anyway, I made it to the hotel, very much looking forward to a hoity-toity night's sleep and a football match. So, I'll see you tomorrow.